afternoon, I'll write an opera, or rebuild my carburetor, or run a marathon. Backwards, just for fun. Now, to sing our national anthem, fresh from appearances at the inauguration and the Super Bowl, Beyonce. Please remain seated. Miss Beyonce?
Yes?
Were you lip syncing just now?
What?
Just now, I couldn't help but notice that you might have been lip syncing.
Shoot, you got me. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to take another try at singing our national anthem, Taylor Swift. Please remain seated.
Oh, say, can you see that you were quite bad? As a boyfriend you were just a nightmare, no kidding. Through the mountain of pain, my tears fell just like rain.
Excuse me, Taylor. This was supposed to be the Star-Spangled Banner, not a breakup song.
I can't help it, announced Ruth Person. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and right now my sleeve is soaking with tears of regret. My life is a kaleidoscope of regret and betrayal, and
Can someone please escort Miss Swift off the stage? That concludes the musical portion of the show. Let's move along before anyone gets hurt. To introduce the plays this morning, we are quite honored to have His Honor, Mayor Tom Menino.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's been nothing too big mess. So I started an adventure and... What? I said this morning watching two big mess. So I started an adventure.
Ladies and gentlemen, at times it can be difficult to understand what the mayor is actually saying. So, to help out Mayor Menino introduce the play this morning, we are honored to have aging film star Sylvester Sly Stallone.
Yo, everybody, yo, Mr. Mayor, yo, Sly. So this morning we're going to hear about bad people and monsters running around all over the place, making loads of trouble all over the place. But then comes some of these superhero type guys who are going to take care of business, if you know what I mean.
No comprende. Ladies and gentlemen, to help out Mayor Menino and Sly Stallone introduce the play, we are pleased to have with us this morning Frankenstein's Monster.
Ah, Greek myths!
This guy makes me sound like Cary Grant.
Yo, big guy, you gotta get yourself hooked up on phonics or something. You can't comprehend a thing you're saying. Really?
Oh dear. Ladies and gentlemen, last try. Here to help out the mayor, Sly, and the monster to introduce the play this morning, the Swedish Chef.
Perseus, Medusa, and then Odysseus got into the ugly Cyclops and poked him in the eye. And then Odysseus run into his beautiful wife Penelope. beautiful, and he said, happily ever after.
Oh, no, I got no idea what you just said, but what do you say? You, me, His Honor, and the monster go head backstage, and you whip up some Philly cheesesteaks, and then we can watch these, what do you call, Greek myths. Sound good?
Bark, bark.
Okay then. And with that stellar introduction, we bring you the 5th grade play. I really, really appreciate it.
Perseus slays Medusa. King Polydectes was an evil man. He wished to marry the beautiful princess Danae, but knew that her son Perseus might stand in the way. So he hatched a plan to get rid of Perseus forever. He would trick him into making a boast that would send him to his doom. It was the king's birthday, and all subjects were expected to give gifts to the king. Polydectes knew that Perseus was poor and had no fine gifts to give. This, the king knew, was his opening.
So many lovely gifts I have received today on my birthday. 10 horses, 5 chariots, and a pot of gold. These things are fantastic. I tell you, I never believed I could become king, but now I am, and it's fantastic. Because I pump up the kingdom and I don't raise the taxes and all of these things. It's terrific, I tell you. What a country. So you better believe what I am saying to you now.
What did he just say? I can never understand a word he says.
He's the king. Who knows how that happened? But we need to make a good impression, even if he's a bit of a barbarian. Happy birthday. Open our gift. Open ours.
Magnificent. I love the court and shoes. Great job with the gift giving. Great job. How does it look on you?
Beautiful, O king. Do you like it?
I love it. This must have cost you a pretty penny.
I'll say it did. That thing cost me a month's rent. Now I'm going to have to work the slaves twice as hard this month to make up for it. Giving gifts to the king. What a pain in the... Ow!
Our great pleasure. We appreciate the opportunity to show our appreciation of such a fine honor.
Well, gee, thanks. It is nice to be appreciated. Well, now, I do not believe I have caught my gift yet from Perseus.
Well, King Polydectes, I...
Come now, Perseus. I know you don't have the fantastic wealth, but surely you'll brought me something. Perhaps you brought me a rabbit's foot, maybe? Or a clay pot?
I will give you a great gift, O king, the most impressive gift of anyone.
Oh, really? I was becoming pessimistic for a moment, but now I'm becoming optimistic about this gift. Exactly what you had in mind, young Perseus.
I'm going to give you the head of Medusa.
Perseus, my son, what are you saying? That's impossible.
Perseus, are you talking with me? Making light of me? Making the promises impossible for you to keep? Is this some jest?
It is no jest. I will bring you the head of Medusa.
But Perseus, my son, think of what you're saying. Medusa is a hideous monster. She is so horrible that anybody who looks at her turns instantly to stone. They say her hair is made of live snakes.
And she lives with her two sisters, the Gorgon sisters they are called, and they have brass wings and brass claws.
And no one even knows where she lives. At the far reaches of Earth, they say. You cannot possibly carry out this fantastic promise you would make here. Now, to me, thinking of all these lands.
But I will. I am to be a hero. I know it. I can feel it. I must keep this promise. Farewell, mother. I will return.
I would expect all that. Bye-bye. Hasta la vista. Send us the postcards from the end of the earth. Come now, then. My little cheesecake food.
You beast! He set up a trap for my brave, impetuous son, and now he's off on a quest which he will never return.
Come now, my little high-fiber grandma. I'm sure your son Perseus should be justified. And if for some reason he does not return, may the gods forbid it, well then, I will take care of you. Come now, let's all go have us some exercising and then the high protein, low calorie lunch.
Now Perseus was in fact the son of a Greek god, Zeus, and he prayed to him for help.
Oh, Zeus, father of the gods and father of me, help!
Hey there.
Who are you?
Look at my shoes and my hat. Took a wild guess.
Hermes, the messenger god?
Yep, I'm here to help. And buddy, you need some. We're all watching you, up above, high on Mount Olympus where you made your promise to the king. I'll bring you Medusa's head. Pretty bold promise there, Perseus, especially for your first heroic quest. You could have started smaller, you know. Slay a giant, rescue somebody, shovel out the foreign stables. But no, you have to start right at the top, Medusa's head. Sheesh.
Sorry, it just sort of popped out.
All right, all right. Fortunately for you, you have a few friends upstairs. Zeus, your father, of course, and Athena in particular, likes you, and she sent you these as a gift to help you out.
Hey, these are just like yours.
Yep, put them on and you can fly.
Great, thanks, I'll see ya.
Don't know where to go yet, do ya?
No.
Want me to tell you?
Yes, that would be very helpful.
Fine, then sit down and type in a seat. Now, you can't just go off looking for Medusa and chop off her head. Where she lives is a secret, and if you don't have the right equipment, you're gonna end up turned to stone. You don't want that, do ya? Spend the rest of time into eternity as rest stop for pigeons?
No!
Okay then, here's what you must do. Fly north to the farthest reaches of the earth where there is only ice and frigid air. There you will find the three gray sisters, who have between them only one eye and one tooth. Those three halves will tell you where to find the nymphs of the west. Once you find the nymphs, they'll be able to give you what you need to slay Medusa. Now did you get all that?
I was with you up until you said, here's what you must do. Did you repeat the rest of it?
Oh boy, are you quite sure you want to be a hero? You know, a lot of opportunities are opening up in real estate these days, or politics that doesn't require much upstairs. Would you consider changing careers?
No, I want to be a hero, that's final.
I was afraid you'd say that. Now listen very carefully.
And Hermes explained the plan once again to Perseus. Actually, he explained the plan several times to Perseus, who then flew off to the north. He flew over fields and farms and forests and rivers. And then over cold plains and foothills and then mountains where no man had ever been. And he flew over these mountains into the great north ice cap, where the earth was covered with a thick crust of ice, and where it was too cold for either man or beast to survive. Perseus flew above the frigid plain, with breath like smoke in the air. Finally, he heard a faint, high-pitched tittering, far, far away from the plain. He listened carefully and flew towards it, and there he saw them, the Gray Sisters, three old hags, as old as time itself, who, between the three of them, shared one tooth and one eye.
The eye! Who's got it? Sister does. Which sister? Me! I do! I'm looking. It's my turn. I haven't seen anything since yesterday. Boy, you two are ugly. Oh, really? Just us two? And who do you think you look like? Aphrodite? I've seen you and you look just like us. Yeah, just like us. Hey, who's got the tooth? I'm hungry. I could do with a snack. She's got it. Who? Her. Who her? Your sister, Edie. Your sister to the right. Which one? Right. What do you mean right? Who's got the tooth? Right. I'm getting frustrated. When I get that tooth, I'm gonna fight you. Who? You. What did I do? And hey, who's got the eye? The eye. I want the eye. I need to see. Pass me the eye. Oh, right. If you'll just stop your sniffling. Here. What do you see? Anything interesting?
I'm afraid not, sisters. None of you see anything right now. I have the eye.
Who are you?
I am Perseus. I'm on a heroic quest to slay Medusa and take her head back with me to the king's court.
Oh, well, that's a toughie. Good luck. Now, give us that girl.
With pleasure, ladies. Just tell me what I need to know and I will be returned. Where do I find the nymphs of the west?
Sorry, can't tell you that. That's one of the old secrets. We're not allowed to divulge. Classified. Yes, very hush-hush. Can't divulge it.
Ladies, I grow impatient. And do you know what happens when I grow impatient?
What?
My hands tremble. Oh dear. They begin to tremble now, as I speak. I fear I may drop your eye to the ground, and it will go smush.
Smush?
Smush, and then you will never see again, any of you. You will live out your lives here forever in complete and utter darkness.
No, we couldn't bear it. Couldn't bear it.
Then tell me what I need to know.
No, we won't.
Oh, my hands tremble even more. I'm losing my grip. I feel the eye slipping.
Stop. We will tell you. Just promise you'll return the eye.
I promise.
Well then, here it is. To find the nymphs of the west,
You must
fly west.
That's it.
Yep.
That's the big secret. For that, I flew thousands of miles over a frozen wasteland.
Hey, we didn't say it was profound, okay? That's it. To find the nymphs of the west, you must fly west. Now, let's have the eye. Ooh, what a fine-looking young man. Really? Let me see, let me see. No, I just got it.
Well, you always seem to have it. Let me have a look.
I just got it. I got it.
And so Perseus flew west, oddly enough, to find the nymphs of the west, who held the secrets and the weapons that Perseus would need to kill Medusa. When he arrived, the nymphs were completely charmed by Perseus, and they were happy to give him the help that he needed.
Hello, nymphs.
Well, hey there, a visitor.
I am Perseus, sent here by Athena and Hermes, by way of the great sisters. I seek your help on my quest to destroying the head of the dread Gorgon Medusa.
Whoa, sounds serious. Anyway, hi. I'm like Kim Kardashian, and this is Taylor Swift. Put us together and you get Nymphs of the West.
Nice to meet you both. I've heard a lot about you. I'm on a quest and I require your assistance. But if I may ask, what are you two doing way out here in this godforsaken wasteland? You don't seem like you're from around here.
Well, I'm kind of a singer-songwriter, kind of poet laureate for the broken-hearted. I write songs about all my boyfriends who treat me wrong. She's written a lot of songs. I was living in LA, Beverly Hills, when I kind of ran out of boys who could be my boyfriend, I could then break up with and make a steamy yet heartfelt song about it. So I moved here. Say, do you currently have a girlfriend?
No.
Want to go out sometime? Maybe you could break my poor, fragile heart, and I could write a song about it and rake you over the coals 2 or 3, 600 times.
That's a nice offer. But you see, I have this quest and...
Don't say another word, you sorry excuse for a man.
Okay then. How about you, Kim? What are you doing way out here?
Okay, well, I'm pretty into laser hair removal products, also tanning products and Botox, but that's not really relevant. So I was approached to do this endorsement for these laser hair removal products, and I was like, yes! And my mother is like, what are you thinking, Kim? Do you want to appear on the evolutionary chart between Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal? And I haven't even been to those countries. Plus, I've been having some parent issues and some brother and sister issues, not to mention some marriage issues, and my whole sense of style is really evolving, So I decided it was just time to get away and chill way up here in the north, because it's
chilly here.
Okay then. Anyway, I'm on a quest, and I need your help, nymphs, if I am to succeed. Will you help me?
The nymphs gave him direction to the lair of the Gorgon sisters, which is in the land beyond, and then they gave him the necessary tools to complete his quest. First, they gave him a shield of polished bronze, and they instructed him to look at Medusa through the shield's reflection. That way, he would not be turned into stone as he approached. Then, the nymphs gave him a very sharp sword with which to cut off Medusa's head. To demonstrate how short the sword indeed was, he used it to make french fries and potatoes in just seconds. Finally, they gave him a cap of darkness, which made him completely invisible. He would be able to sneak up on the Gorgon sisters undetected. Perseus set out with a Tibbers cap and a friendly wave flag, which unfortunately the nymphs did not see because Perseus was completely invisible. Perseus flew across the great dark sea into the land beyond, a land not fit for human habitation. There was a low brown sky and the air was foreign and threatening. Perseus flew over a great desolate swampland until he heard a distant rumble. As he came near, he heard that it was snowing. He knew that he was approaching the lair of the Gorgon sisters and that they were asleep. When Perseus was close, he turned around and guided himself by the reflection of his bronze shield, and then he saw them, the three sisters asleep. They all had bronze wings and bronze claws, but only one had hair that was hundreds of live snakes. Even though he looked only upon the reflection, Perseus' blood ran cold at the horrible sight of Medusa. He steadied himself and crept backwards to where Medusa slept. He raised his very sharp sword, and with a great blow, he smote off Medusa's head. Perseus quickly reached down and put the head in the sack he brought. The other sisters roused themselves when Perseus ran and then flew away.
I hate mines, don't you?
By the way, one of the horrible Gorgon sisters was actually Sarah Palin, and the other one was Newt Gingrich.
All right, that's the last straw. I was featured in last year's 5th grade play, and that was bad enough. But now, again, I'm not even running for anything anymore. What's the deal?
Hey, easy there, big fella. Calm down. Here, have some moose pate. I shot him myself. I'll take the other, Newt.
Sarah, you're in the same boat as me. They get you in these cheesy productions, too. Why are you so jolly about it?
Because, Newt, a long time ago I learned there's no such thing as bad publicity. Look out there. Look at all the nice people looking at us. That, my friend, is not the king.
Okay, what are you doing?
An endorsement. I'm selling, Newt. I'm selling. You do it too. Time to start practicing.
I don't think so. Tune meeting. Why, I've got one of those powerful minds in North America. In the galaxy, for that matter. I'm not going to sell coffee and donuts with a tap dance and smile.
Newt, let me call your attention to something. Tick-tock. It's over. You're no longer walking the corners of power. You took your shot last year and your campaign blew up. Time to get realistic. Until they establish a lunar colony on the moon and invite you up there to get hurt.
It could happen.
Of course it couldn't. Of course it could. But until then, let me actually suggest that you try to make a living. In the private sector,
Newt Gingrich here for Dunkin' Donuts coffee and food products. Use these. Have some soon, or I'll come to your house and insult your feeble intelligence quotient.
okay, needs a little work maybe. But to start, what do you say we can go back to my house, we can work on it a little bit. We can snack on this moose pate, some coyote fingers, and hamburger stew, while I continue ins and outs of marketing.
Sounds utterly repulsive, Sarah.
Don't be to the food snob, dude. Remember, you're about to re-enter the world of a common man. You need to loosen up a little.
I'm loose, Sarah. I'm a hep cat. I'm ready to roll. Dunkin' Donuts. Use these products, or you might find yourself audited by the IRS. I still have connections.
There's the selling sector. You're aware of that, right?
After months of travel, Perseus finally returned to the castle of King Polydectes, the evil man who had sent Perseus on his quest. Perseus arrived just as the king was about to force Perseus' mother, Danae, into marriage.
Come, my sweet gentleman, you must marry me. I have great wealth, and great hair, and rippling muscles all over me. What possible objection could you have?
I detest you. You're repulsive.
You must be joking. I am Polydectes, the great king. Anyone would want to marry me. And just remember, dear Danae, what is best in life is to crush your enemies and see them driven before you and hear the lamentation of the women. I have no idea why I just said that. Anyway, it sounds like very good. Let's get on with this.
If my brave son Perseus were here, you would not dare to behave this way.
Well, fortunately for me, your brave son Perseus is one who is not so smart as I think he is. He's taken the bait and gone off on an impossible quest. I'm going to bring back the head of Medusa. Ha! We've seen the last of him, I assure you, my little Strudel. Medusa has turned him into pure stone by now.
Ha ha, what a yahoo. I'll cut off Medusa's head. Ha, what a howl. Well, I'm glad to see you're all so amused.
Perseus, what are you doing here?
Why, what kind of greeting is that for your hero back from his quest, Polydectes? I'm back, as I said, O.D., and I understand I'm just in time. One of the slaves told me there's to be a wedding today.
Yes, it's fantastic. I'm to know your mother, Dana.
Wonderful. I'm so glad I didn't arrive empty-handed. I've brought you a present. Turn your head, Mother.
Then you did it. You slew the Gorgon's sister Medusa, and you've come back to save me from marrying that horrible man.
Yes, Mother, I have returned. Questing is good fun and everything, but truly, there's no place like home.
The Adventures of Odysseus, the Cyclops Cave and the Return. In Greek legend, one of the greatest warriors was the brave Odysseus. He was king of the island of Ithaca, and, as all Greek kings, he sails with Menelaus and Agamemnon to make war on Troy. That terrible war lasted 10 long years, and, in the end, it was Odysseus who came up with the plan that ended it, the trick of the Trojan horse. That is a tale in itself. Suffice to say, Odysseus was a great thinker and trickster. He's always had a plan up his sleeve. The voyage back to Ithaca was terrible for Odysseus and his men. They had angered the sea god, Poseidon, and so he sent terrible troubles and monsters to destroy Odysseus and his men. His winds blew them off course and onto islands where horrible monsters tried to kill or devour them. Among the most terrible of all was the island of the Cyclops, giant, one-eyed monsters who had a taste for human flesh. We join Odysseus and his brave, intrepid crew as they land on the island, unaware of what awaits them there.
Stop it! What are you doing? Mo, Larry, Curly, please do not walk ahead of me. We don't know what danger lurks on this island.
Right, boss?
And once again, Mo, please do not call me boss. Captain is good, Odysseus is fine, but not boss, okay?
Right, boss?
Boss, I'm so hungry. We haven't eaten in days. Our food on the ship ran out last week.
Yeah, all we had to eat for the last few days is seaweed. You know, I kind of like that seaweed. It's so salty. I'm a salty kind of guy.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot kind of guy. Hey, men, is this the way for a brave, intrepid crew to act? I know it's been a tough journey, and we're all very tired and hungry, and that can make us a little bit grouchy, but we need to pay attention to where we are.
Where are we?
I have no idea.
Great. Hey, Why don't we look around this mysterious island and see what we can find? Why, look, over there. There's a dark, mysterious, dangerous-looking cave. Let's walk into it and see who lives there.
What are you people doing here?
Who are you?
I'm Mitt Romney, and this is my cave. Who wants to know?
I'm Mo, that's Larry, and that's Crew.
Mo, Larry, and Curly, that sounds familiar. Were you guys on my campaign team?
Well, we have your campaign team. Okay, we're idiots. We know that, but there's no need to insult us, Mr. Romney.
Never mind. This is my secret cave where I go to brood about the election and have some me time. So scram.
Men, that was a perfect example of what not to do on this island. We are sailing through dangerous waters, and we all know that the sea god Poseidon hates me.
That he does, Odysseus. In fact, we were just talking about this yesterday, and we made up a little song about it. Want to hear it?
Let's see. No!
Oh, yes. Boys? Oh, Poseidon, hates your guts. He will try to thrash you, he will try to mash you into bits.
Not very much, no. I like the tune, not the words so much. But the tune is really nice. Listen, man, my point is, we all know that Poseidon hates my guts and aims to cause me terrible grief. But the problem for you is, you are with me. If trouble comes in my rambling voyage, trouble comes your way, too.
Well, gee, we didn't think of that.
You didn't think of that? That's a shock. Anyway, my point is, Poseidon, as god of the sea, will try to steer us onto islands that are dangerous, with deadly enemies all want to destroy us. So we must exercise caution and be very careful to...
Whoa! The blood smells so good. I remember that smell. It's meat!
It's meat cooking over a fire. See the smoke? That empty room is coming from the cave up the hill there.
Hot food, let's go!
And be very careful not to do anything really dumb, like rush up a hill into a cave on an unknown island that probably has a monster in it.
Little did the crew know. Little did the crew know. I can stop my sentence there and it pretty much makes sense. But I will continue. Little did the crew know, nor even did brave, wily Odysseus know, but they had landed on a terrible island indeed, the island of the Cyclops. These were terrible, one-eyed giants, and their very favorite food was human flesh.
Food, yum, yum, yummy!
Even dumb human flesh. And the meanest, most terrible Cyclops was named Polyphemus.
Roar!
Polyphemus had seen the men land on his island, and he had set a trap. In his cave, he put goat meat over the fire, knowing that men would smell the delicious aroma of cooking meat. He hoped they would not be smart enough to sense a trap. No worries there. And when they ran into the cave, Polyphemus planned to roll a great boulder in front of the entrance, trapping them inside. And then he would have his meal of men.
Food, yum, yum.
Men, don't go in there. Come out. I sense danger.
Food, yum, yum, yummy!
Come on, join us, boss. This meat is delicious and it's funny for everybody. Dig in. Oh, Mo, Curly, Larry, boys. Did any of you notice anything peculiar about this particular cave?
Yeah, the food they serve here is outstanding.
No, I wasn't really talking about the food. Did anything else catch your attention?
Well, the place could do with a little cleaning. It's a bit messy in
home furnishing. For instance, did any of you notice the giant chair in the corner? Or the giant bed over there, way in the back? Or the giant bowl, the giant fork, the giant toothbrush, the giant towel next to the toothbrush? Did any of you notice any of those little details?
No.
Well, now that we have noticed those things, what conclusion can we reach on who lives here?
We've thought about it, boss. The giant chair, the giant bowl, the giant towel, all that big stuff. And our considered guess about who lives here is... we got nothing. How about you, boss? You got a theory?
Oi! Why, yes! It's a giant, you idiots! A giant lives here! This is a trap! We need to get out of here!
What? Now? We haven't had dessert yet.
Yes! Now! Run! Roar!
Greetings, strangers, and welcome to my humble abode. I am so glad you were able to come to dinner. Ha ha ha!
That was horrible! The devoured mole! They ate him alive!
Yum! I just love the taste of human flesh. Although that guy was just a little bit chewy. Just a little bit dumb. Oh well, I'm not that picky anyways. Now then, who wants to be next?
Me! Greetings, stranger. May I ask who you are? Who provides us with such hospitality?
Why, I'm Polyphemus, the meanest of all cyclopses on the island. I'm so glad you were able to drop in, so you could drop down my gullet. Ha ha ha! And who may I ask are you?
Why, great Polyphemus, my name is... Nobody!
Good, boss. Her name is Odysseus. Odysseus. Poor guy. He's got to teach one to forgotten his own name.
Shh! Quiet, fool. I have a plan. Just try not to talk and I'll see if I can get us out of this mess. That's right. My name is Nobody. I see you have plans for dinner this evening. Us. But may I suggest that we are a bit dry and have a slight olive flavor as we are from Greece. May I suggest that as you eat us, you wash us down with a little of this. Wine.
Wine? What is wine? We drink like goat's milk here. I've never tried wine.
Oh, well, you must try it as you eat us. As you eat us. It is made from pressed grapes. Quite delicious. Here, take the whole thing.
I thank you, Nobody. Don't mind if I do. Go. But that's not bad, Nobody. Thanks very much. And to show my appreciation for your nice gift, I'm gonna eat you last. Go. Well, that's really quite good, Nobody. It's got a nice bouquet. I think I detect a hint of blackberry over finish, maybe a Cabernet 3000 BC or something.
Men, we must act quickly. The wine is plumb out, but it won't be asleep for very long. We need to act with haste. I mean, to put out his eye. And then we will ride out on the bellies of the giant goats over there. And when Polyphemus moves the rocks so he can feel around freely and find us, we will ride on the goats and then to the ship.
So, what you're saying is we're leaving without dessert.
Please, just follow my lead.
And Odysseus took out his sword and stabbed Polyphemus as he slept, blinding him.
Stab!
Polyphemus awoke in a rage, blinded and furious. He groped about the cave for the men, but he had a herd of goats in there and could not feel where the men hid. So he opened the doorway of the cave, pushing the great boulder aside, making sure that only the goats got out by feeling them as they stampeded out of the door. Unbeknownst to him, Odysseus and his men hung onto the bellies of the goats and so rode out of the cave.
Sheep on the sheep! Sheep on the sheep! Ready? I'm frog or frog!
Odysseus and his men ran to the ship, while Polyphemus felt around his now empty cave and realized he had been tricked. Ah! And then he called out for help to the other Cyclops of the island. Out came Pelops. Pelops the Cyclops.
Why, Polyphemus, brother Cyclops, what has happened to you?
I'm blind and in terrible pain. Oh, the agony!
Why, Polyphemus, who has done this terrible thing to you? You will find this man and tear him apart for you.
It was nobody. Nobody has blinded me.
Oh, what a shame. Nobody has blinded you? I guess you must have done this to yourself.
No.
That's nothing we can do for you. What a tragedy.
No, you're not getting this. It was nobody. Nobody has blinded me.
Yes, I get it. You did it to yourself. That's too bad. But I told you more than once about judging spirits the way you do. How many times I have to say, hey, it's all fun and games, so someone loses an eye.
Man, did you ever just have one of those days?
All the men were lost except for Odysseus. After 10 long years of voyaging, he finally found his way home. So if you were paying attention, you'll have figured out that between the Trojan War and voyage home, it was 20 years since Odysseus had last been in his own kingdom, Ithaca. And when he returned, he found great trouble there. His own castle had been invaded by bad men, suitors, who wished to marry Odysseus' wife, Penelope. Almost everyone thought Odysseus was dead, and the suitors wished to marry Penelope, queen of Ithaca, for whoever married her would get to be the next king. And that is where the next part of our story begins.
And now, at last, I've returned to my beloved Ithaca.
Oh, sorry. Forgot to announce that in this second story, the part of Odysseus will now be played by Jack W., not Jack J.
Okay, fine. I didn't even want to be in this part anyway.
And the parts of Mo, Larry, and Curly will be played by no one, because those guys all got devoured by monsters and giants on the way home. Anyway, cue the sea sounds, and Odysseus' return, take 2.
And now, I have returned, at last, to my beloved Ithaca.
At last, Odysseus has returned to his beloved Ithaca.
Didn't I just say that?
Yes, but you're new. Just trying to be a helpful narrator.
Great. Fine. Super job. You've done your part. Now I'll try to get on with the show, okay? That means you're quiet for a bit. Now I'll reclaim my wife and my throne, and my beds, and my chairs, and my clothes, and my arrows, and that hammock behind the castle, and all my stuff, and I will be king of Ithaca once again.
Not so fast, Odysseus.
I can tell by your noble bearings that you're a goddess. You're
Athena! You can tell by her great beauty and armor, goddess of wisdom and war.
I was just about to say that. I knew it was Athena.
I should hope so. I'm your guardian, Odysseus, your patron.
Yeah, you'd think you know it was Athena. It's not rocket science. Note the ability to appear out of thin air.
Listen, I knew it was her, okay? Do you have news to tell me, O great goddess Athena?
Yes, I do, Odysseus. Trickster of Troy, master of strategies, I've come to warn you.
Warn me? Warn me of what? Surely I am welcome in my own homeland.
No, you're not. Not even close. The suitors are at the castle, and they mean to kill you. What did you think? You can just come waltzing back in here, and everything will be fine, Anne.
Silence. Just what do you think you are doing?
Just moving things along. I am the narrator now.
Yes, I can see. But you know it is I, Athena, who's to warn Odysseus, not you.
Well, pardon me for being helpful. Just trying to move things along.
Annoying, isn't it?
Quite so. Take this one away. who wish to marry your wife and take all you have. They hope you are dead, and if you show your face there now, they will probably try to kill you.
That's terrible. And what of my wife, Penelope, and my son, Telemachus? Are they safe from these men?
For the time being, they are.
Oh, well, that's good.
No, that's bad. If they remain in grave danger, your son Telemachus is away, sailing the seas, searching for you.
Oh, well, that's good.
No, that's bad. He's not found you, of course. These dudes return any day now, and the suitors may try to kill him. Meanwhile, your wife Penelope has never doubted you.
Is that good or bad?
That's good. Your wife still loves you. Why would you ask such a ridiculous question?
So how does my wife keep these terrible suitors at bay?
Just as you have tricks up your sleeve, so does she. She knits a death trap for you, and has told the suitors only when she finishes it, they should pick a new husband. Every night she unravels the stitches she knits during the day, so she never finishes.
Clever. How long will my wife be able to ensure her own security?
The suitors grow impatient. They are near to forcing her to choose shroud or no shroud.
Cat! The brutes! I will have my revenge on them! Charge!
Odysseus, great trickster, master of strategies. Aren't you forgetting something?
Let me see. Got my shoelaces all tucked, got my sword. Nope, all good. Charge!
Odysseus, there's 100 of them. There's but one of you. What do you think might come handy?
Much bigger sword.
A plan.
A plan!
Yes, you're indeed the great trickster.
Yes, a plan. I'm glad I thought of it. Well, how's this for a plan? When I go to the castle, instead of walking in, I run in, thereby taking out the suitors by surprise. What do you think?
And where do you see your plan going once you're in the doors?
Good point. Scratch the plan. Let me think.
Disguise.
Oh, yes, excellent. A disguise. I shall wear disguise. That way I can find out who the leaders of the suitors are and their exact numbers so I can really take them by surprise.
Excellent. May I suggest you go as an old, poor beggar? That way they will hardly pay any attention to you as you enter the castle, and you will be free to reconnoiter.
I'll be free to what?
Reconnoiter.
What?
You'll be free to look around.
Ah, yes. Excellent. Reconnoiter.
Farewell, brave Odysseus. I will be watching you from my throne on Olympus. The gods are rooting for you, except that grouchy old Poseidon, of course. I wish you good fortune and good hunting.
And so it was that Odysseus hid his treasures in fine armor so as not to appear the fine king and warrior that he was. He shed his fine clothes and put on the humble rag of a beggar so that when he entered his old castle, he would go unnoticed by the evil suitors who dwelt there. He assumed a limp and kept his eyes lowered, so as to appear as a humble, harmless beggar.
Before I go to the castle where my wife is being held captive by my enemies, I shall begin my reconnoitering by visiting the humble hut of one of my old swineherds, Eumaeus, and his brother, Fredo, to collect any information I can. Greetings, strangers. Greetings. I am but a humble beggar, and I would ask for some food and shelter for the night, kind sir. Who are you? My name is Bob. Bob? A strange name. I am Eumaeus, the swineherd, a servant of the great Odysseus.
And I am his brother, Fredo, also a swineherd and servant of the great Odysseus.
But I, of course, am chief swineherd. Fredo here is my little brother, volatile and sometimes deceitful, jealous of my position as chief favorite. I fear that his jealousy will lead him to betray me, and I will have to have him whacked. Hey! Isn't that character stole directly from The Godfather, a movie that will be made about 3,000 years in the future from now?
Yes, it is. You got a problem with that?
No. So you say you were both in service to Odysseus, the great sailor, trickster of Troy? That's the one. Here, stranger, try some of my homemade slop. Made it myself. Pigs love it. So you say you were both servants and swineherds for the great Odysseus. Was he not lost at sea after the Trojan War?
That's what people say. He hasn't been back to his castle, for 20 long years. Apparently, he's been only able to sail in only one direction.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as requested by Fredo the Nother, we are proud to bring you Zane, Niall, Liam, Louie, and Harry. Ladies and gentlemen, One Direction!
Smile,
Who lives in the castle and rules the land? Well, Odysseus' wife Penelope still lives there, and she clings in the hope that he will return. But she is besieged by suitors, princes and nobles of rude characters who all wish to be king themselves. That's terrible!
No kidding. These are rude, greedy men. They eat all of Odysseus' food, they drink all of his wine, and dishonor his name. And they threaten his son, Telemachus.
That's terrible! No kidding. Poor Telemachus has searched the seas for his father. He's due back any day now. I fear that the suitors will kill him as he is the true heir to the throne and they want him out of the way.
That's terrible. Yes, you're very articulate, Bob.
Telemachus, you have returned. What news of your father?
Last none. You made it, Fredo. May I talk to you about the current situation at the castle in private? Who is our guest?
Oh, this is, Bob. He's passing through. This is Telemachus. This is your son.
I am not Bob. I am Odysseus, your father. What? That's right. I've come home. Home at last. My son. My father. My goodness. Telemachus, I've not seen you since you were just a little baby. You've grown to be a man.
I can't believe it's you, Father. What joy. I've been praying to the gods for this day ever since I can remember.
And you Mason Fredo, you remained loyal to me for all these years. After I reclaim my wife and my throne, you shall be repaid handsomely for your service.
That may be a bit of a problem. There are nearly 100 suitors in the castle, and if you return there, they would surely kill you. They're eager to take over your throne.
But fortunately, we'll have a surprise on your side. I have a plan. You know me, I always have a plan.
What would that be?
Well, as you can see, I've assumed the humble appearance of a beggar. I plan to go to the castle and reconnoiter. It means to, yes, it's a big word. I'm not surprised you don't know it. Reconnoiter. It means to look around.
Well, why didn't you just say that?
Because a big vocabulary is good.
Anyway, Father, back to the plan.
Yes, the plan. Telemachus, you shall go to the castle first. You will tell them that the suitors there, that in your travels you'll find out that I, Odysseus, am indeed dead. And you will also tell them that your mother, Penelope, will deliver the choice of her husband this very night.
I see. And what will you do, Father?
I will simply walk in as a humble beggar. I will pretend to be an old sailor, fallen in hard times. I will say that I once sailed and fought with Odysseus in order to get in to see Penelope.
Will you tell her who you really are, my father? Will you tell her that you are her husband, Odysseus, home at last?
I don't think so. Your mother has never been very good at keeping secrets. I'll save that surprise for the right time, after I've had my revenge on those nasty suitors. But I will tell her that it was Odysseus' last wish that the next man to marry her would win an archery contest using the bow of Odysseus.
Aha, I see. You are the only one who can bend the bow.
Yes, a plan. It is always good to have one. Now here's the rest.
Generous prince, do you have food to spare? I wrote you begging dog. Here, go fetch.
Ha! He fetches better than my hunting dog. Iros, can you roll over too?
Ah yes, good wine, good food, talk with beggars, all good clean fun. And the food and wine's not even ours.
Yeah, it tastes better knowing that it all belonged to Odysseus, the great king of Ithaca.
May that poor schlep rest in peace.
Toast to our host.
King Odysseus, whose food we eat, whose wine we drink, and who is, I hope, lying at the bottom of the sea somewhere near Troy.
Yay! These then are the mean suitors, very mean, each and every one. There's Eurymachus, the leader, a nasty prince from a nasty little kingdom. He's so mean. How mean is he? He's so mean he likes to crack knuckles, other people's knuckles. Ow! Ow! Then there's Antinous, a bad man through and through, heir to the throne in his own kingdom until his own father threw him out for his selfish, cruel ways. He's so mean. How mean is he? He's so mean he even hates himself.
You talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me? Because I'm the only one here.
Then there's Cancard, the dark prince, mean with the capital M. I'm telling you, he's mean. How mean is he? In his free time, he kicks kiddie field goals. Then there's Bulbous, another duo, Lauten, poisons his own father to become king, only to be discovered in his crime and exiled from his homeland. Can I tell you something? This guy is mean! How mean is he? He's so mean, he won't even let his own little son be in the sports. Finally, there's the dawn. He comes from a far-off land. Nobody's quite sure where. Kind of a funny accent. His hair appears to be made of tempered bronze. He's mean, and certainly the most ambitious. How mean is he? Oh, he's so mean.
When I get to be the king of this backwater, it's never going to be the same. First, I'll evict all the goat herders and farmers and their families. That's the fun part. Then, you guessed it, baby, casinos. All up and down the shore. What's the point of oceanfront property if you don't build casinos on it? It's going to be world class, my friends. World class. Like me.
So there you have it, Penelope's unwanted suitors. Never has history or legend seen such a motley crew of nasty, unsavory, ugly, horrible men. Never has such a repulsive group of people. Yes? I hear every word you're saying. Really? Well, in that case.
Yes, it is all right to feast all day and night, but I grow impatient with the queen. She says she will pick one of us to wed, but she never does.
It's been about 20 years since Odysseus was here. And she saw.
I do, and I grow impatient. And when I grow impatient, bad things tend to happen.
Oh, Telemachus, so glad you go back to Italy safely.
Thank you, Antinous. I see you and your friends continue your unwelcome stay in my father's house.
Enough of that, you young pup. And for that matter, how do you know you're really Telemachus?
What?
Maybe you're just pretending to be Telemachus. Do you have a birth certificate? The long form that proves you
No one has a birth certificate.
That's no excuse.
Anyway, my father, alas, is dead.
Oh, gee, that's too bad, Telemachus. Our condolences. Now, I guess this means your mother will choose a new husband?
Yes, she'll delay no longer. She'll do so tonight.
This is superb news indeed.
Yes, by the end of the night, one of us will be Penelope's betrothed and Ithaca's new king.
Unless, of course, she wants us to sign a prenup. Believe me, the paperwork, the lawyers, the negotiations, that can take a while. I should know. Never mind.
Crown Prince,
You have a bit of food to spare for an old sailor fallen in hard times.
Another beggar? This castle seems to be filled with them.
You're quite right, sir. For what is a beggar but one who eats the food and drinks the wine of another? If you think about it, aren't all you fine princes beggars too?
What's this? A beggar with wit? A beggar with a loose tongue?
I meant but a jest, good sir.
Be careful, old man, or your next jest may be your last.
That's Odysseus! That's Odysseus!
Did I hear you say earlier, old man, that you had once sailed with Odysseus?
I did. I fought with him at Troy.
Ha! Stories and lies. Half the old men you meet these days claim they have fought with Odysseus at Troy. What have we here but another liar?
That may be. Then again, he may speak the truth. In any case, my mother, the queen, will want to see him. She has instructed me to bring to her anyone who has stories to tell of her long-lost husband. Do you have any stories to tell, stranger?
I do.
Well then, come with me. I'll show you to her room.
Hey, I gotta tell you, I'm not crazy about this guy. He just waltzes right in here, cuts to the front of the line, ignoring everyone else, like he's entitled or something. That's my job.
Me neither, Donald. I mean, we ride around here all day and night. And this cur gets to go see Penelope just like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking next time I see him, I'll give him a taste of my sword.
Be still, gentlemen, be still. Have you already forgotten the good news? Penelope chooses among us this very night. The long wait is finally over. What do we care about some beggar? Tomorrow, one of us will be the new king of Ithaca. Let the feasting begin.
Hooray!
Yes, feasting. What's for dinner?
Chicken, I believe.
Chicken soup!
Apparently, dinner will be delayed this evening. Let the drinking begin.
Hooray!
And feasting later.
Hooray!
Rats, I'll never get this death shroud done. Darn knitting, I've got no aptitude for it. Mother, Telemachus, my son, you have returned. You look a little peaked. You want to eat something?
No thanks, Ma.
Any news about you know who?
Oh, I found out that Odysseus, my father, your husband, is dead.
Oh, I figured. Rats, anything has really got me stumped.
Doesn't seem all that sad, Telemachus.
Ma, aren't you a little sad?
Oh, about Odysseus? Yeah, sure. But you know, it has been 20 years, son. He didn't call, he didn't write. I don't know. I kind of figured he was pushing up the daisies somewhere out near Troy. Say, who's the stranger?
Oh, this is Bob, an old sailor who once sailed with father to Troy.
You knew my husband?
I did, O great queen.
You can call me Penny.
I did know him, O great Penny.
When did you see him last? Did he talk about me at all?
Oh, yes. He spoke of you all the time. He was devoted to you. He told me himself that you were the great love of his life.
Oh, stop. You're embarrassing me. Go on.
Odysseus thought of you whenever his life was in danger. It was his only fear, meeting death in the world of Troy, that he would not see you again.
Wow, you've got quite a way with words, Bob.
Thank you, O great Penny. I always wondered, when he spoke of you, or forgive me, did you not think equally as highly of him?
Oh yeah, sure. Odysseus was a great guy.
Forgive me, but you don't sound that enthused.
Well, to be honest, look it. We're married a few years. We have a son and a nice castle. And then Wood. He's off to some more, barely set its That's who.
Yeah, but Ma, you loved him, right?
Yeah, sure I did. I guess I missed the big love.
And is that why you devised your clever strategy?
Strategy?
Yes. You told the suitors you would only pick one of them after you finished Odysseus' death shroud, but you unravel the stitches every night, so you never finish your husband's shroud. You never have to pick your next husband. That strategy?
This? Unraveling? Nah. I just can't seem to get the hang of this darn knitting thing. I'm all thumbs. I don't even know why I keep trying. It's that damn Martha Stewart. Makes you feel inadequate if you don't knit your husband's own death strap. You can't go to the market after your Laura and just buy one. No, you have to make it yourself. I hate Martha Stewart. There, I said it.
Well, in any case, my lady, I have news. Odysseus told me that it was his last wish, before he died, that the next man to marry you would win an archery contest using his bow. He said only such a man who could bend that bow and shoot perfectly straight would be worthy.
I see. Sounds reasonable. So be it. Telemachus said word to the suitors. I will abide by my husband's wishes. Whichever one of you can bend the bow and shoot the arrow into the bullseye, that man I shall take for my next husband. Hurrah! Ooh, I just love being popular.
Let me show you how to do this in Jersey.
That's like really New Jersey, Trump.
This bow is too stiff. Let it sit by the fire to stop it. Then I will try.
I will not even try. Shroud that is never finished, bow that cannot be bent. This is but another trick by the queen and her son.
Let me try! You!
Ha!
You, a poor weak beggar?
Give me a break.
It's my mother's contest, gentlemen. Let her decide.
Let him try. He's humble, but he finds something noble in his daring. Very well. Let the cur try. And when he fails, he will find my sword at his throat. And then we will make you choose one of us, O deceitful queen. This little drama can only go in one direction. Oh
Let's go crazy, crazy, crazy till we see the sun. I know we only meant but let's pretend it's fun. And never, never, never stop for anyone. Tonight let's get some and live while we're young.
Okay, that's just getting annoying. Can we have that line again, please?
Very well. Let the cur try. And when he fails, he will find my sword at his throat. And then we will make you choose one of us, O deceitful queen.
Fling, fling. He has done it. Why none could ever shoot like that but one?
But, is that where you left your head, Donald? But this can't be.
It's I, Odysseus. Oh yes, it can. It is I, Odysseus. I was only wearing those old beggar's rags to reconnoiter. And what do I find? Thousands unwanted visitors eating my food and drinking my wine and insulting my wife and son with their unwanted presents. Now you can time you will pay for your deeds. Draw it now, Fausters. Draw your
of gold. By all rights, I should have come to a horrible end by now, considering what a spoiled lunatic blowhard I am. But the gods have seen fit to grant me everlasting life, great riches, and a series of beautiful, vapid wives. Ha 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 ha!
Really? He gets away with that?
Hey gods, can somebody do something about this guy?
We're looking into it. In the end, when he finally shows up in the land of the dead, we're planning a punishment that will make his hair thin. Don't you worry about it.